Welcome to the Fantasy HQ podcast, all things NRL Fantasy. Find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Facebook. Your hosts, Frosty and Steve-O. Welcome everyone to the Fantasy HQ podcast, all things NRL Fantasy. And today we're going to be discussing round one Vegas and our team reveal. So Frosty, what's the excitement levels for round one in Vegas?
I tell you what, Steve, early doors, one of the Bulldogs tops already on. The jersey will be on about 7 a.m. sharp tomorrow. So buzzing away. The preseason's been long, getting the content out and covering the bases. And so to be on the eve finally is exciting times. Although a little bit filthy, being on the road, if you saw the last episode, down the mighty Otago. Brother Mark's married 2 Fridays ago, and then a good mate, Brad, just this one gone by. So preparations for Fantasy HQ has been a little bit hampered, so I won't hold it against those two, but ready for the games ahead.
Congratulations to the newlyweds. And I must say, I played a game of cricket today, and I think my mind was on the NRL because it didn't go too well for me with the bat, but I'm excited to put the feet up tomorrow and watch some footy back. So we'll get straight into it. Straight into our reveal of our team for this weekend, and until changes might occur come Tuesday with the final TLT for round one. But as it stands, this is what we have, starting with Harry Grant there at hooker. And Frosty, we've decided to go with Comfort and a gun at hooker, only running the single hooker. No, sorry, we've got Hayward on the bench, but someone that we just think's a reliable point scorer for us.
Yeah, exactly that. A lot of chat all preseason really, but it sort of ramped up again around Reid Marnie there at the Cowboys. Will he be 80-minute hooker? Would he be a 60 to 65-minute hooker? A lot of coaches are feeling confident that with their coach's words, Todd Payton, that he will be shaping up for 80 minutes. For us, we don't really want to take the risk from round one early doors because if it's not to be the case, and Reid's chucking out some high 20 games, some low 30s, which he can do anyway playing 80. At 480k, it's just a niggly price range. So, yeah, a little bit more money, but playing it safe. Clean run to Origin, around 12. So, barring injuries or suspensions, we've got a gun locked in.
I like it. And speaking about guns, our captain in the mid there, Payne Haas, very confident. He's nearly 65% owned, so I think it's a no-brainer. Have him in your team, lock him in, and a great captaincy option round one.
Yeah.
Trey Mooney, a bit like Haas, I think he is 43% owned and someone that is a bit of a no-brainer. I know there was a bit of chat that he might not play big minutes. He might get the switch out. But I still suspect if he's playing 45, 50 minutes, he's going to be a decent point scorer for us and make us a little bit of cash.
Yeah, that's the one. Will be a late change if it's the hour before kickoff and he's back to the bench. Do you think he still gets the 40 to 45 off the bench and coaches don't need to panic? Or do you think it's a slight change up possibly?
I think if he does go to the bench, if it's Croker starting, it doesn't thrill me that it's going to be big minutes for him either. So I think Mooney still would play 45, 50, even from the bench. If he misses the first 20, I think he maybe misses the last 15. I think he gets a good run either side of the half.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
And we've gone sort of full circle on our other mid. He'll be in our starting slot, although he won't be scoring round one, is Terrell May. And he is only 7% owned, one of the few pods in our team, averaged 73 last year. And I mean, I know there's chat, he might do lighter minutes around that sort of 60, 65, but if he has more impact in those minutes, he could just be another 70-point scorer. And teams won't be able to get him in if he's 930k after round one. So I think he's a serious pod option that we can get a lot of points from and get the upper hand. Yes, we'll take a hit round one, but I'm here for it.
Yeah, fantasy's not one in round one, is it? It's 27 weeks, and we're talking before, and if it was to be, the shoe was to be on the other foot, and it was Cleary playing round one with May, and Haas was to have the round one bye, there's no way that Haas is sitting at 7% owned. So, it's flying under the radar, and we're happy to cash in because, in the long run, we think that 65 to 70 point average will be well in our favour, above the other 93% of coaches.
Moving on to our edge spots, we have David Fafita going with the pack. He is 52% owned at 500k. Not much we need to say about him. If you don't have him in your team, you should have him. Alongside
Look great in the trials.
Lukey, 300k. He is 40% owned and rising. Also looked really good in the trials. I think it's a no-brainer. And to have in your starting spot, because he is locked in this weekend, you should seriously consider starting him.
Yeah, 100%.
Moving on to our halves. Another one that's sort of been in out, a bit of a yo-yo. But Nathan Cleary is someone you and I are going to stick with, I think. We've gone the three highest priced players and a lot of cheapies outside of them. So Nathan Cleary, 30% owned. He won't be kept in round one. But he's going to be another option in case we need it, along with May and Haas. He averaged 68 last year and, potentially could start this season a bit better and average even more.
Yeah, that's the one. And again, if you start him in round one, playing the long game, if it's round 12, you get rid of him or you keep him all season, he's not going to drop majorly in price. He'll be around that 900k mark, whatever point it is in the season. And sure, some coaches might pick him up 50 to 70k cheaper, but it's not a massive deal in the grand scheme of things. So, again, big picture, he's an out-and-out gun, and because our halves, even if he's not captain with Haas there as well. But happy to have him.
And his half partner for our side, based off the recent news of TRT for Vegas, we're happy to roll the dice on Dylan Brown. He has the number 7 jersey with Sharp outside him at 6. We expect Dylan Brown to do a lot of kicking, more so than previous years, and running the show a little bit there as the halfback. So I think he's a good option. He's going to be in my personal team as well at nearly 33% owned, 486k. Dylan Brown is basically a must-have for us.
Yeah, and you can see there, 38 average from last season. He has lined up on the right-hand side in the trial game. And so if that is the case, usually those halves get 20-plus tackles. If you're chucking 80 metres, you're at 28 for a base. Chucking 7-8 points of kicking, and you're pretty much at that 38-point average, just below, whether it's 3 or 4 points. And so whatever attacking returns he gets each week, that's going to be above his average. And I don't think he's the type half, being a bigger body, to miss too many tackles. So there shouldn't be too many negatives coming. Looks like he's got plenty of upside this season.
Quickly on the two centres we've decided to go relatively cheap, no gun. We did consider Herbie and Carraz, but we've decided to go Tommy Chester and Casey McLean there. So a little bit more of a risk, but I mean, they're both owned in the 20s, I think. Chester in the nearly 40s. So they're not pods by any chance, by any means, but they are a chance to score reliable for us.
Yeah, Chester's well owned, but how many actually have him starting centre or at the wing fullback is another one. So again, if he pops off early doors, we may be advantaged there having him scoring. Casey McLean, all we need is a wee 5-point jump from last year, which is certainly on the cards. And if he can be spinning out 42, 43-point average, again, a side that's got a clean run to round 12, that sort of gives him 5 points to work with on top of the likes of a Carraz who's got a bye. So we're happy there. Roll the dice, and we don't think he's going to have a major drop off and be losing us coin.
He certainly has that expected potential to take a step up as he sort of develops in the league. So Casey McLean, someone I'm actually excited for. Moving on to our fullbacks, Leo there is a placeholder for Faimani for the Titans, who should be added to the fantasy app on Tuesday night after TLT. So we will have Faimani there in his replace. Alongside him at the back, we've got Farlogo. So he is 40% owned, and I think is basically a no-brainer to have in your starting side for the Storm, starting fullback. Looked like could be a goal kicking option as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have him, I've never really seen a fullback in the last 20 years be poor at the Storm in their system. So he's had a few games there, and he's done well enough. He should be cashing in plenty of fantasy points along the way. So yeah, if you don't have him, get him in. That goal kicking would be a fantastic cherry on top.
Another goal kicking fullback that we suspect will be goal kicking and also picking up a few meters off the boot in general play is Kalen Ponga, 600k. He is one of our other few pods, less than 10% owned. Kalen Ponga, bit of a wild card in our team, but if he is to fire and if the Knights go alright and he has a big role in the side, he could well and truly be averaging 50 plus.
Yeah, and he's done it in past seasons, hasn't he? So he's got history for it, which is always good. He started to climb ever so slightly. He was at 6% when we picked him up, but he's just about hit double digits. So some other coaches are getting on him because they see a little bit of value there too. Goal kicking certainly helps. I just add to that base, and I guess if the Knights decide to score some points, because if they're chucking out 10 to 12 points a game, it's probably not great news. But yeah, full of promise. Hopefully they turn it around and be a sort of middle of the road attacking side. That'll be all we need.
Right, and moving on to our bench, we have Josh Paxton at nearly 25% owned, 250k. Won't talk too much more about him. If he gets the starting role, he is a definite lock into your team. Joe Chan, another pod you could say at 6%, but we're sort of picking that he will get the start in front of Lasati. So if he does, I suspect his price to rise drastically to around the 15 to 20% come Tuesday. And at 311k, if he's got that starting role, he should still make close to 200k, is what we're hoping. 150 we'll be pretty happy with, and be a pretty reliable scorer. But if he misses out on the starting role and it's Lasati, we will take that extra about 25k and put it in the bank. Next up, we have the man himself and your big pod option. Bit of a grin on his face there. It is Cody Walker, 347k, 5.6% owned. And Frosty, you and I are both expecting big things with the edge he'll have on his side of the likes of Fafita, Latrell. He could be getting line breaks. He could be getting try assists for fun.
100%. Surely the most dangerous, lethal edge in the competition. And that trial they played together, the defensive side is so spaced with so many dangerous targets that, yeah, man, it'll be points of plenty, line breaks, try assists, a couple of meat pies himself, you would imagine. It really did look good in that trial. And, you know, he averaged 27 last year. He cannot be putting out those numbers again this year, surely. And I would be expecting at least 35, which is an 8-point increase, and would not be surprised if he gives you 10 points value quite easily. So, yeah, happy to get on board. He won't kick too much when it comes to general field kicking, but yeah, attacking stats will get it done for him.
Yeah, if he can average that 37 to 40 with the chance of getting the odd 50, I think he's going to be reliable enough to be on our bench and make us some coins. So that's what you want. Hamish Stewart here, playing for the Dragons. We've decided to stick by him at 28% ownership and 442k. He's got the starting role. Minutes are unsure, but we've got to take a gamble somewhere in that Dragons lineup. And for us, we're hoping anywhere between 40 and 50 minutes should get him round that 45 point average, and that would give us about 10 points of value.
Yeah, that's the one. He proved it last year in 8 to 10 games that he's a point per minute scorer in that lock role. So yeah, if he's getting 45 to 50 minutes, that's all we need from him. And anything of an average 43, 44 and above, we'll be more than happy for that slow burn, consistent bench points.
Right, Adam Dewey here. He's on the buy at 557k. He's nearly 17% owned. Me personally, I am a big fan of Dewey. I think he could easily average 55 to even 60. So I think he's a bit of a must-have. But he also gives us a little bit of flexibility on the bench, because Stewart will be in May's place there as a starting mid, with May on the bye, which means we could then look at trading Dewey out if Hayward doesn't score good round one, and trade him for someone of a similar price, like a Mitchell Moses or something like that. Or we could also look, if Hayward doesn't score well, to go Terrell May to like a Isaiah Yo or a Tino, for example, and play that sort of loop option there. So Dewey, someone you want on your team, Frosty?
Yeah, I think so. He's in my personal side, and on our Fantasy HQ side here, though, I would not imagine, Steve-O, that there'd be too many other fantasy sides line up in round one with 3 Tigers, especially including May at his big dollar price tag with Dewey. So it does give us real flexibility, and we'll talk about it soon. But we've also got flexibility at the wing fullback with Makasini. So yeah, we think round one is a great time to cash in these loops. We aren't too stressed because there are some question marks going into round one of every season. And if we get caught out by a Hayward or maybe a Stewart, like you said, we can bring in the likes of a Yao or a Moses and cash in hopefully 50 or 60 points instead of those guys we've got, where other coaches, if they've got only Makasini, they're taking whatever points they get in the forward pack as their forward interchange scorers. But that's not our issue. So looking forward to that part of the weekend.
I've just moved Dewey up to 4, so we could technically trade out or replace May and Dewey if we don't get good results from Stewart and Hayward. But I'm hoping we do, and I'm hoping we can stick with this team. We'll skip over Hayward. I think he's sort of a slow burn. He is nearly 20% owned. We're not expecting big numbers. Hopefully he can do a lot of tackling round one in a smaller field in Vegas and score us reliable enough that we take his score round one. And then talking about that flexibility with a loop there, option there, with Farmani on our starting wing, we basically get a free look at Sedu2. If Sedu2 scores, say, 35 plus, we can look to keep his score and put Makasini in there and replace with Farmani, and Farmani will go to our 8th emergency spot. If Sedu2 gets, say, 21 and has a bit of a quiet game, the Dragons don't have much attack, then we just keep Farmani there at fullback, who will come into the app on Tuesday. So that's how we're playing that loop, and I love the idea of 2 Makasini and Farmani as being big meat eaters. They're sort of that body that's going to take some hit-ups, score some tries, and potentially make a lot of coaches a lot of money.
Yeah, super excited for that. And 2's probably another one. Looks like he's rock solid, got the tackle bust to him, try scoring ability. So I'll be very interested to see who picks up the young Titans guy as well. Because if you're doing that, you sort of have to play 1 or 2 Chupies in your starting spots, and some coaches may not be willing to take that risk, but we'll certainly have one there, and then we've got Chester at the centre spot as well. So flexibility in round one will be hopefully positive for us, and we get a wee result there.
Right, Frosty, imagining there's not too many big shock announcements come TLT next week, are you happy to lock this team in for Vegas?
Oh yeah, I'm liking how we're shaping up. And yeah, I think the biggest thing for the coaches out there is, if you've got Vegas players, get them into those starting spots where you can, because then it provides that flexibility which we spoke about, trading in and out for whatever position you please, and it can move your money around much easier than if you've got them elsewhere.
Good point there, Frosty. And I look forward to tomorrow. I hope you have a good day and lead up. And for everyone watching, if you get to see this before fantasy starts, make sure you do check the description and join our overall league. And we would appreciate any subscription as we build closer to the 400 mark. So thank you, Frosty, and I will see you on the next one.
Cheers, Steve-O.
We appreciate your support for the Fantasy HQ podcast, all things NRL Fantasy. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify and Facebook, and most importantly, thanks for watching.